Hi guys, welcome to our channel. Let's din it. This is Junior and this is
Ashima. Hi guys.
so we have something very great for you today. We're gonna look at two very remarkable phones. One is the Xiaomi Note 9 and the other one is the Huawei P40 Lite. Both phones are very affordable. They are in their mid-range, but uh, we're gonna compare the camera, the photographs and videos, and then we're gonna do a thorough analysis in this video here. So if you notice, this video is very lengthy, but we're gonna use several photographs and pinpoint the strengths and weakness of both phones. So first, let's look at this slideshow here. In terms of photographs, we're gonna do an analysis of the back camera in regular mode, and we're gonna do an analysis of the back camera 48 megapixel mode, and then the back camera with a macro lens for those who are interested in macro photography. After we finish with the back camera, we're gonna also look at the front camera portrait mode. That's it for photographs, but for videos we're gonna look at the front camera uh, and also the back camera 48 megapixel mode for those who would like high quality photographs. So stay tuned. First of all, let's start the analysis and review. Hope you enjoy.
Bye.
So let's look at both photographs. This photo was taken up a hill, and if you notice the Note 9, Xiaomi Note 9, the grass, the root of the grass is a little more pinker as compared to the Huawei P40 Lite photo. This was a true reflection of the situation at that time. And if you also notice the sunlight or the brightness in the Xiaomi Note 9, it was a little more darker than the Huawei P40 Lite photograph. Actually, it was a sunrise moment, so the Huawei P40 Lite did an excellent job in capturing that sunlight there. Let's go back to the tree trunk there. If you notice, because the Xiaomi reduced the amount of sunlight through artificial intelligence, what you notice there in that trunk there, you're seeing a little more texture instead of light, so you can see a little more colors, a little more detail on that tree trunk. So we see there are drawbacks in both photographs. So let's move on to the other photo. In this photo here, we have three boats and it's anchored on the land and it's in the river. This river is known as the Essequibo River and is located in Guyana. Guyana is a wonderful place for ecotourism. However, let's get back to the photo here. If you notice, the river there in the Xiaomi Note 9 photo is a little pinker and the cloud is a little bluer. Let's compare that to the Huawei P40 Lite. The river in the Huawei P40 Lite photograph, the river is a little paler and a little greener, and that is also for the clouds. So the actual situation I can remember from being here was the river was not that greener or paler as the Huawei P40 Lite took out. It was more of the Xiaomi color So the Xiaomi Note 9 did a very great job in capturing the color of the river. And if you notice, look at the green color of that piece of boat there that is taken out. It also looks a little vibrant as compared to the green color of the Huawei P40 Lite boat. So that is my conclusion for these two photographs. Now let's compare these two photographs. If you notice the Xiaomi Note 9 photograph, the green color of the forest is more vibrant as compared to the green color in the Huawei P40 Lite. It's a much more paler color. If you notice in the first picture where there was grass on that tree trunk there, it's similar to these photographs here. The Xiaomi tried to reduce the amount of light. It was very brighter, but the Xiaomi phone, through artificial intelligence, reduced the amount of light in this photograph to try to capture more detail in the forest, the color, as compared to the Huawei P40 Lite. It tries to capture a realistic situation of the brightness at that point in time. But I think in terms of a better photo, I think the Xiaomi here did a really great job. Despite it didn't capture a true reflection of the light, it did a very great job in beautifying the forest in terms of the colors there. If you notice, there's a tree trunk there with a long trail. I think it's an ant's trail. So you can see that very clear. The tree trunk with a trail, a long ant's trail or termite trail. You can see that a little more better than the one in the Huawei P40 Lite photograph. Also, you see there the road, the road there, the unpaved road. The leaves there is a little more colorful in the Xiaomi phone as compared to the Huawei, which was a little more paler. See, again, you see, because the artificial intelligence in the Xiaomi Note 9, it kind of be a little more sensible in taking out photographs. It's trying to limit the light intensity and capture more vibrance and color. So now let's look at these two photographs. We're going to look at some photographs taken in the night. This is a photograph of a Catholic church. And if you notice here, in the Xiaomi Note 9 photograph, the building, the church walls, concrete walls, which are a little more darker. Let's look at the church walls or buildings in the Huawei P40 Lite. It's a little more brighter than the Xiaomi photograph here. Also look at the grass. Take a look at the grass. The Xiaomi photo of the grass is a little more darker as compared to the Huawei P40 Lite. The grass is a little more vibrant, but as you see in both photos, the grass is a little more blurry or noisy. I guess it's because of the dark situation. Also look at the lights inside the entrance of the church there. I think the Huawei P40 Lite did a really great job. You see those blurs at the bulbs. If you look closely, the light from the ceiling of the entrance there, the Huawei P40 Lite try to avoid the blurry circular light. It tries to compress that circular light, so you see a little more better the doors as compared to the Xiaomi phone, the light is a little too noisy there. So I think the Huawei P40 Lite did a very great job in this photo. So we're going to look at this photograph here. It's also a night photo, and if you notice, the ground there is a little more brighter in the Xiaomi Note 9 photo as compared to the Huawei P40 Lite photograph. At that point in time, when I took out this picture, the ground was actually looking like the Huawei P40 Lite photo. But I think because of the artificial intelligence of the Xiaomi phone, it tried to bring up that brightness in the ground. But in actuality, the ground was actually like that of the Huawei P40 Lite photo. If you look at the colors of the GTT sign there, I think both phones did a great job in capturing the colors, and it was spot on. Now I want us to zoom in through the window on this photo, and let's see how well both phone captures what is inside of the building. Now looking at the Xiaomi Note 9, we zoomed in for both pictures. We zoom in at a fixed magnification so we can have a fair comparison. So if you look at the Xiaomi Note 9 there, that word closer was much more blurry than the Huawei P40 word there, closer. The Huawei P40 Lite did a very great job in capturing the inside. It was much more clearer. If you also look at, there's a little label there, a black label on a white background there, some words there, right below the closer sign. It looks like a square box with some black words on it. If you look there, the Huawei P40 Lite also did a good job in bringing up that. Try to just bring up the engravings, even though you cannot decipher what it is. At least you see that the engravings is a little more better. Both photo have the colors on both photos is, I would say, fairly good. But that's it for this comparison. I really love this building here. Every time I drive past this building, I actually take a glimpse of this building. I mean, in terms of the lights, even if it's not Christmas time, they have these colorful lights on the building here. And as you see, both phones did a good job bringing up those different colors on the bulbs there. There is much more blurrier color, a circular color then. From the Xiaomi Note 9 photo, you see the color is much more spread out. The radius then of the circles of colors there is much more spread out as compared to the Huawei P40 Lite. I think the P40 Lite did a good job in compressing the colors of the bulbs, like, not to make it too much like, like a blurry light. And but if you look at the passageway there, the concrete passageway, you notice there are much more detail in the Xiaomi phone, because I guess the phone limits the amount of light coming from that part there, so you get a little more detail of what is the roughness of the concrete there. But let's zoom in. I want to show you something very interesting. So let's zoom in on this photo. So we zoomed in on this photo. We zoomed in at the air conditioning unit that is fixed outside of a window here. And if you notice, in both photograph. Let's look at the fan there. In the Xiaomi Note 9, you cannot see the grill, the circular grill that is covering the fan. But in the Huawei P40 Lite, there's some degree of visibility of that circular grill that is covering the fan there. Also, the Huawei P40 Lite, the blinds, look at the window there. The inside there's a grill also, and it looks like there's a blind there. So the Huawei P40 Lite captures a lot of details during the night. Only what I've noticed, once there's light there and it's nighttime, once there's a patch of light, it really captures more detail than the Xiaomi Note 9. So you can see, on the other hand, let's look at the other picture, which is Xiaomi Note 9. The window inside there, you cannot really see that grill, neither you cannot see the blinds there. But what I love about this picture is Xiaomi Note 9. There's sharpness of the window borders. There's a lot of sharpness there. That is very good. So we're gonna move on to these two photographs here with the Xiaomi and the Huawei P40 Lite. If you notice in the Xiaomi photo, the light color is a little off. In the night, the light color is a little off. I noticed our photos in the night. If you look at when I was here and I took out this photograph, the light color was much more oranger, like that of the photo taken by the Huawei P40 Lite. I think this was the Xiaomi phone, the AI mode, or the artificial intelligence mode, is trying to just make it more, do more work in making the photo more brighter in the night. And that was it there. But if you notice also in the Xiaomi phone, the grass there is a little blurry, even though it enhanced that brightness there. Looking at the Huawei photo now, the grass, you're seeing more details with the grass there, and the colors on the grass are spot on. I want us to zoom in on these two photographs. Remember I said with the Huawei P40 Lite, whenever you're taking a photo in night mode and there's a patch of light, what it does, it really captures a lot of details in that patch of light as compared to the Xiaomi Note 9. If you notice in both photographs, I zoomed in both photographs. If you notice, look at the lights coming out from the window there. You see the Xiaomi Note 9 is much more blurry than the Huawei P40 Lite, and you can see a little more details, a little more sharpness. So the Huawei P40 Lite did a very great job in capturing more detail in that patch of light coming out from the window. Now I want us to look at these two photographs. Again, this is a night photo of a circuit, and if you look at both photographs there, I want us to focus on the signboard first of all. The signboard, if you notice in the Xiaomi Note 9, you can see the signboard a little more brighter. So the Xiaomi phone smartly detects it is a night mode, and it tries to brighten up those signs there. Going over to the Huawei P40 Lite photo, the signboards are a little more darker, so you can't really decipher what is any details there. Secondly, let's look at the sky there. I think the Huawei P40 Lite in this case did a very great job with the sky. There's not that much noise or blurred in the Huawei P40 Lite, the Huawei P40 Lite. The sky is a little more smoother, not much noisier as compared to the Xiaomi Note 9. I want us to zoom in on the circuit there. So let's zoom in. These two photographs, the same photographs before, but we're zooming in to see the cards there, and we're seeing that the Huawei P40 Lite, again, because it's a patch of light there, it captures more details. This piece of photo here is much more clearer and crispier, as compared to the Xiaomi Note 9. Is much more blurrier. Both images were zoom in at 6x zoom, so it's a fair competition again here. Now let's look finally at these two photographs in regular mode, and I want us to look carefully here. If you notice, the Xiaomi Note 9, the photo is a little more brighter, a little more crispier, sharper than the Huawei P40 Lite. But if you look very closely to these two photographs, you're gonna notice there's a gold sprinkle, some grainy sprinkles on the parrot there. I love this parrot here actually. This is my daughter parrot, and it was hidden somewhere. And when I found this parrot, I was like, why is this hidden in such a colorful object? So I decided to let's do a test with this one here. But let's go back to the parrot. If you notice, in actuality, the parrot has a gold sprinkle on it. And if you notice the Huawei P40 Lite, I'm going to circle it here now. The Huawei P40 Lite captures those sprinkles, that gold sprinkle or gold sprinkle grains or whatever you call it, a little more better than the Xiaomi Note 9. But the Xiaomi Note 9 did a very great job in enhancing this photo. You're seeing it much more brighter and much more sharper. Remember, this is a regular mode photo we've been looking at so far, not a 48 megapixel mode. This is just a regular mode photo from the back camera. So that's it for our comparison with the photographs, regular mode, back camera. So now we want to look at the 48 megapixel mode for both camera photographs. Remember, we're going in stages, right? All of these photographs that I've shown you is in regular mode, back camera. Let's see the quality of the 48 megapixel photographs from both phones, and then we're gonna do our assessment. I think both phones have their weakness and strength, but I don't want to tell you my opinion as yet. But let's go to the 48 megapixel photographs. Now let's look at these two photographs that were captured in the 48 megapixel mode. This is a place where I would normally fish. It's a jetty. It's where the ocean flows into a river, and there's very nice scenery here, especially during sunset time. So I decided to test the two phones to see which one would be the winner here. And if you notice, the Xiaomi Note 9, the river, the water there, it's not that colorful. In reality, it's a brown water. So there's no color there from the Xiaomi Note 9, but look at the waves of the water. The waves are very, very sharp, and the reflection of the sunlight onto the water is very beautiful, very glimmering. On the other hand, look at the Huawei P40 Lite. You can see there, look at the water first. You can see there that the waves they have the right color, but the waves, in terms of the sharpness of the waves and the edginess of the waves there, is a little more smoother. Let's look at the sky. The sky taken out by the Xiaomi and the Huawei P40, I would say it's roughly similar, but I think the Xiaomi did a really great job. The 48 megapixel mode camera did a really great job in bringing up the sunlight reflection on the waves. And not only that, the waves are a little more sharper. That kind of smooth, edgy waves there. You can see the edges, or the ripple as they call it. Very sharp ripples there from the Xiaomi Note 9. Now guys, let's compare these two photographs. They were also taken out in a 48 megapixel mode. And first of all, I would like you to note that the phone camera, the back camera, was facing a sunset moment here. And if you notice, in the Xiaomi photo, the background, there was just a light, a white light. There was no color at all to take out the sunset moment. But the ground there where the grasses are, I like the color of the grass there. It is very like vibrant. Light is being going into the camera lens, and probably that would affect the image quality. So what it did is probably, I think, is it kind of eliminates that orange color hitting the camera lens and tries to block the targets, which is me and my daughter there. So it eliminates that color there, and it bring up our complexion there. But if you, on the other hand, if you look at the Huawei P40 Lite, you'll notice that the P40 Lite indeed capture a very colorful sunlight, despite a lot of sunlight was going into the phone to affect proper like focus on us. It captured us a little dark. I suppose it's because the orange light is hitting the camera and it's also trying to focus on us. The grass was also very colorful. You can see that there was the grass is a little orangish as compared to the Xiaomi phone. I think the reason why it was that is because of the sunset light being emanated and reflecting from different parts. So that's the two difference between the Xiaomi Note 9 and the Huawei P40. I would prefer, in this case here, I would prefer a realistic photograph, and I would say the Huawei P40 Lite did a good job in capturing that background sunlight, despite it was a little dark there. So yes guys, let's look at the two portrait photographs taken by the two phones. This is the front camera in portrait mode, and if you notice, the Xiaomi Note 9 did a good job in focusing and blurring out the background. On the other hand, the Huawei P40 Lite, I had a very hard time with the P40 Lite trying to make it focus, like to make it just blur out that background there. I tried a couple of ways, but it wasn't like automatically blurring out that background. And but let's look at, irrespective of the issue there, let's look at the complexion. I think the Xiaomi Note 9 really stand out in terms of complexion and smoothness. You can see the Note 9 did a very great job with my jersey there. It's more, you can see, detailed, and it doesn't look like the entire photograph is tinted. Um, and also my complexion there. So I think the Xiaomi Note 9 did an excellent job. It has an excellent portrait mode front camera. Now let's look at these photographs here. These are two other photographs that we've taken in portrait mode on the front camera of both phones. And as I said before with the previous two photographs, same thing I would say for these two photographs. The complexion was very great from the Xiaomi Note 9. It brings up a lot of vibrant colors in that portrait mode, because obviously a portrait mode should bring up that vibrant and beautiful picture of you in a portrait. And I think it did a really great job there, especially in the yellow colors. It's very bright, vibrant there, and it automatically focused and blurred out the background. On the other hand, the Huawei P40 Lite had a little trouble with focusing, trying to focus, find the background and just blur it out there. I'm not sure what's the issue in terms of portrait mode with the Huawei P40 Lite, but I think the Xiaomi Note 9 did a very great job in the portrait mode. Alright guys, so we have these two photographs that were taken out using a macro lens of both phones. On your left you have the Xiaomi Note 9, and on the right you have the Huawei P40 photograph. If you notice, let's look at the Xiaomi photograph. The colors of the flowers are different from the Huawei P40 Lite. Even though the colors looks nicer on the Xiaomi Note 9, the fact is the Xiaomi Note 9, the colors on the flower is not this, in reality, the actual color that the flower has. So the actual color of the flowers were that of the Huawei P40 Lite, and the Huawei P40 Lite did a great job in taking out the color, the actual color of these flowers. Note, with the Huawei P40 Lite, this super macro lens, you have to put it very close for it to focus very clear and also properly. So both cameras were placed very close to the flowers, so that to ensure that a proper photograph is being taken for each snap here. I think the Huawei P40 Lite, if you look at the leaves of the flower there, you can see a little like what to say, a little veiny or leaf design, like some long elongated patterns on that leaf there. As compared to the Xiaomi Note 9, the leaf have a color, but you're not seeing any in-depth, like a slight pattern or so, uh, from the leaves. Notice also the green color behind the flower there. The Huawei P40 Lite had a vibrant, that's the leaves there, as compared to the Xiaomi Note 9. Alright guys, so let's look at these two photographs here. These two photographs are also taken using the macro lens of each phone, and the Xiaomi Note 9 photograph is a little paler than the Huawei P40 Lite. And again, I noticed the Huawei P40 Lite macro lens, it took out the photograph and the colors were on spot. It was the actual colors of the flower. Also, looking at the leaves, if you notice there, the leaves are much more green in the Huawei P40 Lite, but it's blurry as compared to the leaves in the Xiaomi Note 9. As I said, I took out these photographs, the Huawei P40 Lite, using the super macro lens. So what I think it was doing here is try to focus on the flower and blur out the leaves. As compared to the Xiaomi Note 9, it focused on the flower and also on the leaf. So, but it's up to you which one you would prefer. But I think persons that are in the macro photography field, they would love this photo of the Huawei P40 Lite. Hi guys, this is me testing the front camera of the Xiaomi Note 9. Hi guys, this is me testing the front camera of the Huawei P40 Lite. Alright guys, let's compare the two videos from the front camera. The two videos that you just saw, these are just some snap here just to show a comparison. But if you notice in the Xiaomi Note 9 video, the video was much more darker than the Huawei P40 Lite and much more noisier than the Huawei P40 Lite. The Huawei P40 Lite did a great job in bringing up, try to eliminate the darkness and bringing up my actual complexion there, and it's less noisier as compared to the Xiaomi Note 9. So I think the Huawei P40 Lite front camera did an excellent job in terms of videoing in low light condition. Also note the microphone, the sound. You notice the sound was much more louder in the Huawei P40 Lite video as compared to the Xiaomi Note 9. And I think this is a plus for the Huawei P40 Lite front camera video, especially when you're making a video and your voice is small or farther away from the phone. Let's look at the 48 megapixel back camera video. These again are just snapshots. You just saw the video, and if you notice the Huawei P40 Lite, there is much more color, a brown color of the shore and the water, as compared to the Xiaomi Note 9. It's a little more paler. The scene is a little more paler with much more saturated light. I believe the Huawei P40 Lite did an excellent job in capturing the actual color of the shore. When I was there, this was the actual setting. The sun was brown it keep the texture of the sun there, and also the waves look a little more realistic in the Huawei P40 Lite photos compared to the Xiaomi Note 9. Notice also these are 48 megapixel video. I was videoing in the 48 megapixel mode. So that's it, guys. This is the conclusion of our video. We hope you enjoy our analysis and review of different photographs, the front camera, back camera, and also the video mode for each phone. And it's up to you to make a decision which phone you'd prefer. But I think for the portrait mode, the Xiaomi Note 9 did an excellent job. Plus, it automatically blurs out the background. I think the Huawei P40 Lite also did a great job back camera in the night and day. The colors were spot on, and the macro lens also, the Huawei P40 Lite did an excellent job. The Xiaomi Note 9 is a very good phone also. I love Xiaomi products, but I decided to try a Huawei phone just to see if it's better. So both phones are good, and we hope you enjoy the review. If you do enjoy the review, just
If you've been watching our videos, subscribe, like this video, comment down below which phone do you think is best, the camera. Bye guys!
bye.